160. He's gone.
What's up, guys? I apologize up front if I'm a little raspy or a little coffee. These allergies last couple of weeks just been killing me. So I hope everybody's got their new year off to a good start. We're in what, the third, fourth week of January, something like that. Things are starting to move right along. Let's do updates real quick. So I still have the Buell. It's just chilling in the garage. I really need to put some seat time in it, but it's cool. Let's see. I'm obviously riding the Harley. Haven't really changed anything on that. I had a deal worked out for the Suzuki Katana, then last minute the bitch would refuse to start, and so I had to nix that deal because the guy was expecting a running, driving bike. And then like the next day I screwed around with it a little bit with the carburetors, and then boom, everything's fine again. So it just decided to fuck me, and so that was kind of sucky. This whole week's been kind of sucky, to be honest with you. But the weather's nice, I'm on a nice bike, having a good time, so it'll be alright. So about 2 years ago, when I was finishing graduate school, I realized one of the biggest things that I wanted when I was looking for jobs is the ability to stay here in Austin. And so 2 years later, I'm super happy I did. This past year's been really busy, but lately I've been trying to go downtown. Went to a house party last night. Just trying to be a little bit more social, have a little bit more fun, a little bit more relaxed time in my life. Stop freaking out over shit all the time. But the thing I want to talk to you guys about today is actually modern day parenting. You know, there's different things that were, you know, kind of a faux pas generation to generation. You know, I think our generation, like my generation, people who are now in their mid-20s, we were probably the last generation where, like, for our parents, smoking was pretty regular and pretty popular. My parents didn't smoke, but I know a lot of people who did and smoked around the kids, and that was just a normal thing. And nowadays, that's considered, you know, like a really big deal. Like if you're smoking cigarettes around your own kid, like a playground or something, other people will come up to you and like tell you to fuck off. Which kind of leads me into what I saw the other night. I went to a show at Empire, saw a couple bands called The Expendables and Zach Deputy. Really good time, absolutely amazing bands, really good live music. But I saw something on the side of the stage that, and I'd love to get you guys feedback on this in the comment section. But so a little girl, maybe 4, maybe 5 years old at best, and her parents were there watching this show. And while I wouldn't say that, you know, the music or anything was, I would say it was bad for like a 5-year-old, you know, but it was kind of, the night started with kind of this Bob Marley-esque band, and so the air is just full of like weed smoke and cigarette smoke. I mean, everybody's just drugs everywhere, and it's like 40 degrees outside, and on top of all of that, they were right up against the speakers. And the speakers were hurting my ears by the time the last band came on. So this little girl, right, her dad put her up on his shoulders right in front of the speaker, and you can just see her little face just all twisted up, and she's got her hands over her ears. Like, you can see the girl is obviously in pain from the sound. And so she's like pulling on her dad's hair on his ear and stuff, trying to get off of him. And so he sets her down on the ground, and instead of like trying to figure out what's wrong, he kind of pushes her towards the mom and then packs a one-hitter and fucking lights up. And I was just like, you know, I was just stunned, because I mean, I guess it was, I mean, the Empire control room is usually open to everybody. If you're under 21, you usually have to pay some sort of extra cover. But generally, almost all of their shows are you know, you can be under 21. But I don't know who those people were or why they brought a 5-year-old with them in the middle of the night, in the middle of cold, to like a rock show. But it just struck me as incredible. You know, I didn't say anything, I didn't do anything about it because it's not my kid, not my friends, you know, whatever. But I was just sitting there and looking at this little girl, like the look on her face, you know, because because it was really loud, and you could tell she was unhappy, and she was crying and stuff, and I was just like, this is not right. I was like, man, I wish somebody from DSS was here, just like chilling in the crowd and saw that. And I mean, that I'm pretty sure, like, you get your kid taken away, you do shit like that. But then again, who knows? Anyway, what do you guys think? Is that acceptable? Is that going to be kind of the defining thing for like our generation? You know, are we going to be bringing our kids to stuff like that? I mean, I know I would never do that. I couldn't do that. That's not appropriate. I mean, I wouldn't want them breathing all that shit in. I wouldn't want the little ears hurting and just past their bedtime. Like, get a fucking babysitter. It's not that hard. Yeah, so sorry about going on a rant about that, but it just left a really, really like strong impression on me, because I'd never seen something like that before. I'd never seen people bring like little kids like that to a show like that. To talk about is lately, as I've been doing more fab work, I found that there's basically a premium on anything that says welding in the name. So I went to Northern Tool and tried to buy a special jig that basically holds a right angle for you, and they wanted $60 for it, right? Which I thought was pretty high for a piece of fucking cast iron with a screw going through it. But okay, fine, 60 bucks. So I ordered it, and it was gonna arrive next week, 2 weeks for delivery. And so I went to Harbor Freight to go and pick up something else, and I was just like poking around, and I found a really, really similar thing that didn't say welding in the name and was like $8. So I bought that and canceled the Northern Tool order, because it's like, why would you pay more money just because something says welding in the name? You know, all I needed was a right angle clamp, and boom, got a right angle clamp. And earlier today I was actually doing some more work for the RV project, and I used it, and it works beautifully. It's so much nicer because I can just miter the ends and then press it together. It's a lot of kids. Basically just miter it and then press it together in the clamp, and then the clamp holds it in place, and then I can just weld up any gaps basically in my miter, because the miter is not perfect, right? So, God, that's hideous. I don't know how some people go through their entire life without learning to ride a motorcycle. It's just one of those things, man. I wouldn't give it up for anything. By the way, I don't know if I talked to you guys about this, but one of the things that has come on my radar as a potential project, and I got about 50 million projects and not nearly enough money to do all of them at the same time, but I think I really want to build a schoolie and use that for like road trips to go to like shows, like go out to Coachella or Lollapalooza and have my little schoolie. So for those of you who don't know, a schoolie is a school bus that's been converted into an RV. And you can find a really good, like 70-person school bus with a cat diesel and an automatic transmission that's bulletproof for $3,000 to $4,000. Like that's road legal, tag and registered, that you could use like for a church or something. And then you just rip all the shit out of it, put a bathroom in the back, a bedroom in front of that, or vice versa, and then build like a custom living area in the front with a little kitchen and stuff. And so you might say, well, Max, why don't you just buy an RV and renovate that? Well, the thing is, school buses actually have a whole lot of legislation that goes into them. Like, they have to be really rollover resistant, and if they do roll over, they have to have all this like structural stuff that goes into them, right? Because kids, you know. And so they can actually, even though they're usually two-wheel drive, I've never seen a four-wheel drive school bus, but they have really, really beefy, like Dana 80 or bigger axles in the back, and like they usually have lockers in them, and they have like a really beefy frame and chassis, and as a result, they're actually really pretty capable off-road. I mean, in terms of like going into a muddy field and then getting back out off-road. I don't mean like off-road, but it makes them really cool because like you could take one to Big Bend, for instance, and just, yeah, like those school buses right there, or church buses, or whatever that is. You can buy one of those for $3,000 or $4,000 in good condition. And I don't know what this is. Armed Forces Service Center. Anyway, you can basically the point is that you can take one out to Big Bend, and as long as you don't go too far off the beaten trail, it can handle all those dirt roads and those fire roads. You just air it down a little bit, and it'll crawl through all of that, and then you have a badass thing that you can live in, and it'll stand up to the wind and the snow and the rain and the, you know, the sand and whatever else, because it's like basically an 18-wheeler engine and transmission. It is beefy as hell. And the cool thing is the school buses don't really have a whole lot of miles on them, because on average they'll do maybe 40 miles in a day, which you know, 5 days a week, and then they sit the rest of the time. So I mean, I've seen school buses in that price range that have maybe, you know, 120,000 miles. I mean, you can't even find an F-250 with that kind of mileage for any kind of sort of decent money, let alone a fucking diesel school bus. So yeah, I really want to build one of those and then like get some friends. We've kind of talked about it already, and you know, do like a cross-country trip, go up to Canada maybe, or you know, whatever. Because you guys know me, I hate camping, I hate backpacking, I hate all of those things. Very much, I very much like to have a roof over my head, and air conditioning, and a shower. Yeah, I'm not an outdoorsy person, but I would totally go to some of these places if I had a schoolie. I would rock the shit out of that thing. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. Stay tuned. Every Friday is going to be a cool new video of me building some stuff. And hopefully we'll get another project started here soon. Also, as the temperature of the soil grows, we can go out to the farm. And I got to sync up with Harold, the farmer, and see when we're going to plant and what I'm going to plant. And I think the plan for now on that is we're going to plant the whole front area with grass and let it grow in a little bit, and then once it starts growing in, I'm going to pick out an area and we're going to dump some gravel out there so that I can start storing a few vehicles, maybe a trailer, something like that out there. Maybe sink some concrete posts down for security so people can't, you know, get away with my stuff too easy. But I think that's the plan for right now, but all that stuff costs money, and so gotta make some coin to spend some coin. So again, make sure you follow me on Instagram at MaksWerks. If you like this video, please subscribe. Make sure you tune in every Friday for an awesome building or tech video, and always feel free to leave some comments. Let me know what kind of stuff you guys want to see, what you want to see me doing or whatnot. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, peace.